Hey, boys and girls, are we here? Yeah, we're here. All right, so the audio works today. I'm having all kind of computer issues. Right, like corny stuff. Right, super corny stuff. Hey, William, good to see you in the chat. Uh, I'm having a day. So, a pedal I bought hasn't come. Ugh. Almost fell off of that. A pedal I ordered hasn't come. It's been a week. I don't want to cancel it, but it's been a week. It should have been here 5 days ago. It was from Amazon, right? They're like, hey, if it's canceled, I'm like, oh, I know, but if they're always out of stock, do I really want to cancel? It's going to take later. It's a pandemic. Things are, not being delivered like they should be delivered. Put this here. Uh, yeah. So I'm just kind of like, all right, well, I'm not going to stress it. But we've been talking about what's going on, and it's all it's all really it's just been a bad year for me, and it's the third day of the third month. I still have hope. I always do, but man, it is not playing out the way I wanted it to. It really isn't. uh and even as that happens, life moves on. I can't figure out how to cut my twin looper off when my whole thing is all in running. Right. First world problems. Let's get into it. I should have thrown some. I don't want coffee. I've been drinking too much coffee. So now I'm on my quitting coffee phase, which if you've watched the stream, you know that I quit coffee for 5 years. And then I actually more like 4 years. And then I sort of went back to it with a vengeance. Here's the thing: I will polish off a pot of coffee and not eat anything. Right. And I'll start drinking coffee at like 6 a.m. By around 10, I've had, let's say 12. By around noon, I've had like 3 cups of coffee. And not the mug, the long, big, tall ass cups of coffee. Uh that can't be sustainable. Whoa, excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. So that can't be sustainable. But I like coffee. I'm always sipping on something, right? So it's not gonna be when I stopped drinking coffee a million years ago. I was still drinking, right? So I would drink a lot of alcohol, whiskey, beer, and I would drink a ton of water. Now I'm not drinking alcohol, and I'm gonna slow up on my coffee. I feel like I'm becoming one of those vegans who I hate. Um, the idea of it is sort of freaking phenomenally ridiculous. Hold on. Everybody just, you know what? We're not even gonna change the camera. Uh, Stress. I'm stressed, 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 stressed. Uh, yeah, man. I don't even know what to tell you. Woo-wee. Cut on some tea for this investigation. All right. I need a shave. Ugh, I'm always needing a shave. Oh, let's uh let's move that a little closer to me. Uh Everybody wants to be closer to free. Okay. How good is just I have a head full of songs. You know, you grow up, you listen to songs. Who wrote this? Who sang that? Oh my God, I remember that song. I haven't heard it in 20 years. That kind of stuff. Most people like a song they like and you know put it in their memory banks and move on. And like I just said, oh, I haven't heard the song in forever. But we file shit away, and then like you'll say something, and all of a sudden, that will trigger a memory of a food or a song or a person or a color or a shade or a shape, right? Us accessing our memory shows that our memory is good. I was watching something about, okay, we're going to take a slight detour into sexuality. I was watching this woman on YouTube who's a urologist, and she was talking about average size penises, average size sex, average amount of sex people have, average ejaculate, average this, average that, average the other thing. So you are not an outlier. Or if you're doing this, then maybe you shouldn't be doing that because now you are an outlier. But this way, you know what the other people in the pond, the other fish in the pond are doing. Especially since it's sex, nobody goes, "Hey, man, is this? Look at this. Is this normal?" Right? Guys don't do that. I don't. I think girls do that, right? Are these titties supposed to be like this? And the other girl goes, "Oh, girl, you're fine. You're perfect." And da da da. Guys don't do that, right? Is this testicle supposed to be hanging low? Are they supposed to be equal? Are they supposed to be? Or one's supposed to be lower? Which one's supposed to be? Guys don't do that. So I'm kind of happy that I found this kind of really interesting. Um, and she was saying, I forgot how I got on this topic. She was saying, uh, sexual. How did I start this? Why did I start this? Um, all right. The moment has passed. We forgot why we started it. Uh, the new Dr. Ruth. Yeah, I mean, she's a hottie, but that's the way it works, right? Only pretty people get television attention. And all women are raised to be pretty, right? And by that I mean don't even try leaving the house with like your hair in a ponytail and a baseball cap on, because the men, will get blamed for it, but the men don't care. The other women will be like, "How dare you leave the house like that, girl? You looked a mess," and what the thought, and then that will sit in that lady's head, and then the next time she leaves the house, she will look appropriate for the rest of the ladies, right? Um, I told my women friends, you know, if they're like women, they make it seem like if it wasn't for men, they'd all be walking around in moo right? And like those fuzzy house slippers and just all be comfortable with, you know. And I'm like, that's no, men don't do this. Men don't make women wear this, that, or the other thing. In the West, we don't, right? Women wear all types of like the shoes. Like the women wear uncomfortable shoes, not because guys like the men uncomfortable shoes, but somebody told them this kicks up your line and your back and arch of this and sticks that out, and oh, you look extra sexy than the other girl, right? And that's what they do. And then the next generation just see the older girls, older women wearing it, and it's just normal to them. And as they grow up, they adopt it, and it becomes normal. But you know, several times the companies have been like, "All right, there's a dress code now because this is fucking getting ridiculous," and women would sue. I should be able to walk around, a little more sexy at work than. Uh oh. I'm having trouble with this internet again, so I don't know how long we're gonna run. Did I even didn't even cut this on? Uh, yeah, I've been having weird internet issues all day. A couple of dropouts. I don't even know. I don't know how to turn this thing off. You want to see it? Can I even pick it up? Ah, all right. I don't have the battery locked in yet, so there's that. But putting together a pretty nice freaking pedal board here. Pretty decent. Pretty freaking decent. See them? They're all hanging out over there. Yeah. So I've been doing a lot of trying to be living up to my best childhood fantasies of rock and roll stardom. You know what? Here's the thing. That's too advanced for me. That's too advanced for me by, I would say, like a year. Still, I've only been 10 months from for playing every day, but only 10 months, and I still suck. And there's some things that I'm getting a hold of. Other things that I like. I know the fretboard, right? I know I pick up the. I know where my E's and my uh B sharps are. Ha! B sharps. Anyway, I know what all this stuff is, but you watch these guys, and what I'm beginning to be jealous of now is like the muscularity in their hands, not just their dexterity, but you have to pinch the freaking frick out of this neck sometimes to get these clean notes. And it's the idea of I can do 5 push-ups, but they can do 100. You know what I mean? So I mean, but now it's like, oh well, oh look, I can make this weird sound and I can win, and that adds a little more fun to practicing. Uh, Even as they're using it to make love songs and write stuff, and I'm just using it to go because I'm tired of ding ding with my guitar because I'm tired of doing scales, right? So I'm tired of doing scales. I'm tired of doing with my pick. So I'm tired of doing scales, right? Yeah. See, the coming up is I'm my pinky. Let's try that again. Pinky's gonna be the problem. Anyway, my point is that was getting boring. The bar chords were hard and they were getting boring. This way. Right? Fun. Makes practicing cut this off. Makes practicing scales a lot more fun. I still got to work on my hand strength though. Like that pinky thing I told you. Just the running down the fret is easier than running up the fret. So I've been doing spiders, which are I'm not gonna replug that in. Which are these? Yeah, chromatics. Yeah, it's all fun and games until oh, this is gonna fall over. It's all fun and games until it's not. Let's put that here. Oh yeah. But that's part of the fun. Where is my phone? My phone is right here. Do we want to get the coffee? Not the coffee, the tea. We're making tea. I'm a little all over the place, but I'm early, even though that's wrong. I was actually going to start doing this at 6, and I was like, I gotta wait a half an hour. All right, so let's jump into some of this. I really want that tea, but I don't want to leave because it's going to take me like 2 minutes to make the tea. But we all know in broadcast time, not on screen, that 2 minutes might as well be 30 days. Uh 30 days is a little ridiculous. I gotta tell you guys, some of the footage coming out of this place is freaking ridiculous. Will you look at this? This is a housing complex. Oh, here we go. All right. This is ugh. Let me see if I can get a finger in there so you can see it. It's essentially a destroyed housing complex. When I looked at this, if Oops, sorry about that. I think I hit the audio. Did I? I mean, how long was I muted? Oh man, see, Ugh. That's the one thing I'm not crazy about this thing. Can I swing this around and show you guys? I could probably, but I won't. All right. I can undo it too. I can actually flip it over. So you see this light? If I breathe, right, and that's if you breeze across it. If you brush across it, you can mute your whole string. It should be a button. It really should be a button. All right. I'm gonna grab this tea. Give me a second. Okay. Oh boy. See, that took forever, and that was just me putting two tea bags into the cup. About the, I don't know what I was gonna say. Um, and then I just hit the kettle again. We should cut on more light here. And actually, we should cut this. Now we don't need to cut that backlight on. All right, I'm a little all over the place. A little all over the place. I can hear the tea kettle kettling. So I want to catch the hot burn, throw it on that, give that 3 minutes, and then we'll be set to go. It is 7 a.m. 7 a.m. 7 p.m. on the this Thursday on the East. A couple. Sorry about that. You know, I hit buttons all over the place. I was like, is the stream still running now? I gotta check. All right, so here, good sweet Jeebus. This is for that. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place and I'm wide awake. Where's my other browser? That thing is still going. I'm glad I cut that back on. Where's my other browser? Okay, so we're back. Are we all right? Thanks, William. Let's cut this on. Let's go here and let's do this. And it says I'm still streaming. All right, so let's shrink this back down. You know, there's a couple of things going on here. Some of it's me. It's not all me. So this thing that I run across, like when I touch the mic and accidentally mute myself, it just doesn't make sense that it's that right. It doesn't make any sense that it's that sensitive, but I can talk over it, dropping it out. But again, it is in a good space. It's directly on top, so but it should still be a nodule, so you know that you ran across it. Um, the in stream button is so close to the present, so it's like you have the choice of presenting a show to people or pressing the nuclear option, right? So it's either press the button so the Broadway show can go on and you can let people in, right? So press the button for the doors to open, and right next to that is to press the button to detonate the building, right? It's just not maybe that's a little too extreme. Maybe it's the button right next to it is the evacuation alarm button. It doesn't make sense that they're that close. I gotta tell you, man. I was all day yesterday. I was looking up restreamers, right? Understanding it, like there are several good ones, no free ones. We're streaming to you, to YouTube, and to Twitch via the Haps restreamer. But this restreamer has some issues with it. I don't know where the developers of it want to take it. It had some problems, and then they traded those problems in for a whole different bag of problems. So I don't even know. I'll be right back. Ooh, all right. Wait, is that all right? Excellent. That's gonna take 2 minutes to brew. Then I'm gonna run in there, and it's gonna take me a minute, likely, to hit it with 2.5 cups of sugar and a skosh, a soupçon of lemon juice, and then we're here. But while that takes place, let's talk about this Brianna thing. Let's slowly slide into the show. We have yet to have any titles. I gotta tell you, man, this year is kicking my ass already. It really is. I don't really know what to do about it. Um, every move I make to sort of like stretch my wings and not fall to what I think are bad habits and like following the news all the time and chasing politics all the time. Um, it seems to shift, right? Uh, this year has just been brutal. I got a lot of bad energy. Like I was thinking about, like I got this feeling that somebody's gonna die. So the last time I had this feeling this strong, I told my ex, and she was like, you know, I believe in some of that stuff. My grandmother was one of those crazy old black ladies who knew all this weird Southern, but she was the daughter of slaves, right? And those people had a totally different energy. Um, they had war torn people's energy. Um, and a lot of the women in my family are like that. But anyway, yeah. So I'm just the last time I had this feeling, my dog died. Right. I was sad and I was weird about it, and I was like, "Rrr," right. And I was like, I thought it was going to be, I knew it was going to be a family member, and I thought it was going to be my parents because they're like 80 and 85, right? And I totally didn't even just expect it to be my dog, and it was my dog. And I told her, and within 10 days, the dog died. So for 10 days, she was like, okay, this relationship is over. He's fucking, not only he's not doing anything I want, he's also fucking talking crazy. Then the dog died. And then she was like, huh. There's a song, I Think Very Deeply. It's a refrain, I think very deeply. Uh, who is it? How many of y'all must get this before motherfuckers say don't fuck with Chris? Da, 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 da. It's BDP. It's Boogie Down Productions. Um, I can read the tarot. I can burn some candles. I don't. Depends on what you know how to do, right? So I learned to read tarot from a girl who was kind of like quirky, like you like girls to be quirky. But the other stuff, I picked up from women in my family. And of course, it's, half my family, super Christy, right? The other half is like, well, it used to be, all those ladies passed away now. It used to be a little more ethereal and, yeah, I guess mercurial with it, right? They would, oh, he's got a cold, you know, you give him some vapor rub and some hot soup, but you also, you know, cook a freaking chicken heart and put it in the soup and yeah, all this kind of weird stuff that goes back to. You know who used to do this? Who still does this? I think there's something called Santeria. Do we want to look up Santeria? They do stuff like they'll have glasses of water around their house. I don't know what I forgot what it means, but it's like an omen. We all have weird little things like this, and the idea that everybody can't wait to go. You know, those people are crazy. Meanwhile, we over here are fine. Now let's all go to church and drink this wafer that is the blood of Christ. The blood, and meanwhile, we're all fine with, and people who aren't Christians are looking at us like they're cannibals. I think they eat their God. What is they doing over there? Or do you have to explain to them what the what did this say like a joke? If you have to explain the joke, it's not funny. Um, Santeria. Santeria Way of Saints is an Afro-Caribbean religion based on Yoruba beliefs and tradition, with some Roman Catholic elements added. The religion, also known as La Regla, La Kumi, and the Rule of Osha. Santeria is a syncretic religion that grew out of slave trade in Cuba. Yeah, they took what they knew and they mixed it with what the slave traders had, right? Which is not what we did here in America because it was completely destroyed. Uh, but why do you leave glasses of water around? Why do some do we want to call it religion? Religions leave glasses of water around. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking it. The Christians have there's power in water too, right? Mind you, 2,000 years ago they were a desert people, right? So water had power, but it's the idea that you could waste it. You could baptize people with it. You could immerse yourself in the power of water because it was a fucking desert. Uh, you type that in and you get a whole bunch of stuff about water and religion. Holy water, secrets of the Muslim bathroom. I don't know what that means. 7 out of 10 world's most interesting drinking customs. English mechanics of world science with world and pathfinders. What does a glass of water symbolize? What does water symbolize spiritual? Water symbolize well, we know water symbolize cleansing and purity, right? Because you want clean and pure water when you drink it. Uh, if water also symbolizes renewal, because water is a universal solvent. You can put anything in it and it will destroy it. Just like acid, but not in the same way, right? So if you put a human body in the ocean, that body is absolutely gone in like 10 days. Like even the bones are pulped and putrefied and just. But if you leave that same body on land, it takes a whole lot longer, right? Wind and water and rain to wear it down, animals to eat it away, it takes a little longer. Um, but water can get filthy, 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 uh, and then cleanse itself. It evaporates. It leaves everything like a ghost. Leaves all of its shit here, the putrid stuff, and it goes up. It's vapor. Then it falls back down as water again, and you can drink it. So we know some spiritual uh, ness of water because it's always been this elemental thing to the human animal, right? Fire, an element; water, an element. Dirt, we bury people. Dirt, right? We build people built their homes out of mud brick, an element. And the wind, right? This thing you cannot see rushing across your face, flickering in your eye, carrying wild and weird things like in your eye or up your nose or oh, let's get this tea. So yeah, did you ever eat a little vapor rub for sore throat? No. Eat it? Oh, whew, excuse me. Wow, no, I did not ever eat it. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get this tea. Eating vapor rub. Come on, William, what are you doing? All right. And of course, I made a mess. Spill, had to clean that up. That took time away from this fantastic endeavor. Where's my paper towels? Oh Lord, I got too much crap in this room. I'm a fan of Adam Savage. He builds stuff on the internet. Um, and I'm also a fan of men's environments, men's caves. If you're a musician, I like want to know. Excuse me. If you're a musician, I want to know what your room looks like. If you're a painter, I want to know what your room looks like. If you're a baker, I want to know what your room looks like. If you're a porn star, I want to know what your room looks like, right? Where do you work? What do you do in that environment? How's it structured? How's it organized? I find all of that lab stuff sort of a peek into like your mind's eye. Like, so for me, I'm doing something up here. So for me, um, I have bouts of depression, and when I get depressed, I know that I'm depressed. Not like, oh, I'm depressed, but I know that once I look around after like it's been a few weeks, maybe sometimes a month, and I look around, I go, oh, this place is a fucking hot mess. Well, I need to get my shit together. That says that I was tacking here, and I've let stuff go and let stuff go and let stuff go, and then being introspective like I am, I eventually look around and go, I need to do something about my weight problem, which we talked about on this show, right? But my weight problem is because I'm old. I'm getting old. My metabolism isn't what it used to be. So while I don't want to look like I looked when I was 21, I kind of not happy looking the way I look now. Um, and what I want to do is change some things about my flow. One of those you see is music. But my like I said before, my true love is well, my first love was art. So and we might actually make it a point to do that graphic novel writing on Twitch. Look at that hole in my. I gotta buy more of these. So now that we have the, do we are we going this way with the computer? Or are we going this way? I do not like this letterbox. This letterbox is bullshit. I should be able to be envelope. I should. I really should. But it is what it is, right? Let's look into this, Brianna. I didn't. We didn't find out why people stick glasses of water around their apartment, and I kind of want to know why they do that. But we want to look into this, Brianna. A cup filled with water symbolizes what does a glass of water symbolize? Asked by Brenda Sabori, last updated 4th of March 2020. This is 2 years ago. Food and drink, non-alcoholic beverage category. 4.5 out of 5 stars. 6,370 views and 29 votes. Findamyanswer.com. Huh. All right. In regard, a cup filled with water symbolizes the information that is in the near future will be implemented in action. Since water is a symbol of perfection, without there is no life on earth, okay, it carries a lot of coded information. Water gives a person a sign to the beginnings of a new life. I would agree with that. Right. I can see you looking at water like that. I've never heard that before, but I can see you looking at water as uh, a mark to tomorrow, it will be implemented, right? It's like the flood. Floods bring new things, even as they destroy a lot of shit. Uh, Water popularly represents life, right? It can be associated with birth, fertility, and refreshment, right? Water is also one of the four elements, right? We went through this. Essential to life in traditional Western philosophy. In this form, it represents undulating lines or a triangle pointing down. Also know what does water symbolize spiritually within remarkable regular across culture. What has been da 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 da. Sacred life, spiritual da 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 da. All right. Yeah, they were wandering off into like just tell me. I mean, it began to sound like they were trying to sell me on something. Um, I think it's supposed to disperse negative energy, right? But the question then becomes: look, here's in the West, we do this weird thing. So we believe in heaven, right? And but like if you talk about people don't really believe in the devil. Like they believe in God, they'll pray, but they don't really believe in the devil. Like the super conservative believe in it, right? But no one really believes in like and for the I'm not even talking about atheists. I'm talking about for the amount of people who believe they don't really believe that there's a devil. It religion is one of these things. The fall off is ridiculous. It's sort of like a smorgasbord. You can choose to believe this, and then I'll just forgo that. I'll take this, and I'll go that. Or what? Oh, spiritual and saying I'm Christ and wearing a cross. I'll be for that. But I'm not going to be for the celibacy until marriage. And yeah, I mean, but what else you got? Right? Oh, what? Give tithe? Give 10% of my money. As of my salary to church because you're supposed to. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I don't really think I want to do that. Just yeah, it's that. It's so eventually you get to this place where what is religion anymore even, right? And what was it before? I'm still looking at the monitor when I should be looking at you. I should just put that down here, which I could do. All right. I'm gonna have to clear out a. Oh, that's where that went. God dang it! I'm gonna have to clear out a space for this. Uh, I would have to, but even though this is over here, if I put this here, duh, 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 then I wouldn't be able to see the chat. I just need to drop it down about a foot and stick it in the place where I'm looking, which is would be normally be right here. I'm really gonna have to take care. All the paper. Oh, all the projects. They're not. It's not that. It's not that they're unrealized. It's that they're a work in progress, along with a million other freaking works in progress. All right. I was gonna do it now, but I'm not gonna do it now. Oh, it'd be fun to do it now, but I'm not gonna do it now. I was looking for these. The other one's better. These are supposed to be. Yeah, the other one's better. Don't feel right. Anyway, we're missing the thread here. We'll put this over here next to the. Actually, you know what? Let's put this over here next to the app. Uh, let's hit the Breonna Taylor thing. We've been all over the place. It's 7:30. We haven't covered a lot of hard news because I've sort of been here just being ridiculous. Which I know your time is valuable, and I apologize. And I've been looking over here instead of over there, and I apologize. The first thing is eye contact, and I'm over here looking off in the distance like I've got eye contact issues. And it's also weird because I watch gaming and people have like the camera like here, like camera, and they'll be gaming here. So you're always looking into their ear, and I'm like, how is this even an angle? uh, they become, it becomes a thing. Hoo-wee. Homeless man charged with hate crime in a string of attacks on Asian women. I got a couple of questions about that. Um, Everything isn't a hate crime, and I know some of these people want to be able to run for office on it. I'm tough on crime. But it always looks like people taking advantage of the justice system to attack a group of people. Usually my group of people, but a group of people. Um, and this is the problem. Meanwhile, you've got actual hate crimes going on, and you ignore those. You have actual sex crimes going on, and you ignore those because those people are connected to people or things or places or are worth money or are celebrities. Mm, that's good freedom. Mm, 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 mm. All right, you guys want to hit the Breonna Taylor thing? It's depressing. We're doing a lot of this Ukraine thing. I'm beginning to think this Ukraine thing is this Ukraine thing is a. All right, hold on. I am going to put this on the table because sometimes I just like to lean on the table, and gaze wistfully into the firmament as I contemplate why this thing is happening. All right, very much uh, me in junior high school of just gazing out a window, wondering what was out there in the world and why I had to be here with this idiot teacher who did not get my magic. And I stand by that. All these years later, I had some of the worst fucking teachers. And I have people who go, "Oh, teachers shape your life." I'm like, they're not your parents. They're not doing it out of the love of you. They're doing it for a salary. You better watch your other gaslighting. They do it with cops too. Cops keep you safe. Calm down, motherfucker. We're here protesting because you don't keep me safe and you're causing me problems. Don't tell me what you're doing as we're telling you what you're doing is wrong. And then here come the media with one narrative, and the shit show persists. What I need is I was looking at the Masons. I need like a brotherhood of men. Anybody know the movie How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying? Anybody know this movie? No. Uh, it's on. It's on Amazon. Does anyone in the chat have Amazon? Because we can have a watch party. So I've watched that movie 3 times already. It's one of my all-time favorite movies from like the '60s. But don't tell the homies. But I love a musical. I love a musical like a closeted gay guy would love a musical. The Music Man with Dick Shawn. Is his name Dick Shawn? It's not Dick Gregory. He's the black guy. Robert Preston. Who am I thinking of? Dick Shawn. Robert Preston. Right, you're right. Well, who is Dick Shawn? Dick Shawn. Who's that? Oh, right. Okay. So, oh, 1987. How old was he? He was 65. Yeah, okay. He's another one of those crazy character actors who was in everything. Um, yeah, Robert Preston. Robert Preston. What else was Robert Preston in? He was in that movie that we spoke about, The Last Starfighter. I think that might have been his last role, Robert Preston. Yeah, but the Music Man is just all kinds of. I'm talking trouble right here in River City, baby. Oh, he also died in 1987. The Last Starfighter. Yeah. The Music Man, Victor Victoria. Yeah, he was good in that too. Uh, yeah, man. Some of that stuff is just great stuff. Did he die on stage? Cause he was he Hitler in Mel Brooks's The Producers, right? That's one of his great roles. Dick Shawn. Let's see if he died on stage. Where is his Wikipedia? Death on April 17th, 1987 during, I gotta stop doubting you, William, during a performance at the University of California, San Diego, Manville Hall. Shawn suffered a heart attack and collapsed face down on stage. The audience initially assumed that it was part of the act, but after he had remained motionless on stage for several minutes, a sagehand examined him after if a physician was present. A sagehand examined him after a physician was present. After several minutes, after CPR had been initiated, the audience was asked to leave the auditorium. Most in the audience in attendance remained, still assumed they was all part of Shawn's act. How do you know what everybody was assuming? Some people are just fucking looky loos, and if a car accident is a car accident, they'll watch it all go down from their comfortable seat. And some people are too goofy to run from danger because they're watching, right? Uh, Most in attendance remained, still assuming they was part of Shawn's act, and only began leaving after paramedics arrived. A notice in the following day, San Diego Union newspaper announced that Shawn had died during the performance at the age of 63. Shawn was interred at Hillside Memorial Park, a Jewish cemetery in Culver City, California. Really, he didn't do a lot of movies. From 1956 to 1988. All right, that's like 30 years, 32 years, 50, 60, 70, 80, right? Uh, 32 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 24, 25 films in 30 years. That's like a movie every 13 months. Most actors will do two movies a year, right? Unless they're super big actors and they don't want to ruin their brand, then they'll do like a movie a year or two, right? Unless they're super duper giant movie stars, then they do like one every 5 to 7 years. So Tom Cruise does an action movie once every 5 to 7 years now. But back then, he would give you an action movie and like a drama. That movie where him and his Nicole Kidman were leaving Australia or Ireland or something to come to America, right? He did that. He did A Few Good Men, uh, right, which was drama versus Top Gun, which was more action. Now he doesn't do acting anymore. Because he's, you know, I mean, he does big budget, ginormous spectacle movies now. Uh, that's amazing. Um, wow. And people just applaud it, and someone had to come out and nudge him and be like, "Is there a doctor here?" They were like, "Doctor, you're killing me!" And then somebody goes up there and goes, "This man is dead. This man is dead." Oh my! When are you gonna get that something serious is going on here? In addition to roles more than 30 movies and seven he was a Broadway actor, and seven Broadway productions. Maybe he just didn't want to work. Shaw made television appearances, toured often, Maybe he was more of a touring guy. I mean, he was obviously working. Why did he do so few movies? And periodically, look, most people who get to work in Hollywood for 30 years do way more than 50 movies, right? He averaged out a movie and a half for his 30 years, and most people will be averaging like 2 and 3 movies a year. I mean, what's his name was in the film business for 50 years? Uh, Henry Fonda. He's got like 200 movies. Um, that's amazing that he did so few movies. At one of the X-rated roasts, a 1986 Playboy roast, Tommy Chong. At one of the X-rated roasts, a 1986 Playboy roast of Tommy Chong, that had overdosed on tastist routines by previous speakers, Sean walked up to the microphone, took a long pause, and vomited pea soup onto himself and other speakers at the dais. Sean married Rita Bachner in 1946, and they had 4 children. Amy, Wendy, married to John Travolta's older brother, Joey Travolta. Adam and Jennifer. He had one grandchild, Rachel Travolta. He was a longtime resident of Inglewood, New Jersey. But it says he was in California? Okay, I don't even know. Um, all right, there you have it. Nepotism, not nepotism. When you look, if your whole environment, if your whole petri dish was 500 people, you'd be all be interbred and married and whose cousins or that. You know what I mean? That's the game. They're not marrying you. You work at Walmart. Not marrying me. I ain't even got a job. So in order to keep this European like lords and ladies and barons and earls and dukes kind of bullshittery going on in this country, that takes place a lot, especially in California. Nepotism is just an open thing. But so it takes place in the moneyed halls of Massachusetts and Wall Street in Connecticut, right, where all this freaking money's supposed to be. I don't know, man. I don't even know. I don't even know about it. Brown and Taylor, we getting to that yet? All right. Ooh, let's get to it. So, the guy who went on trial, the police officer, because he's still a police officer, he was not convicted of a doggone thing. Who went on trial for reckless endangerment with this shooting through neighbors' walls and stuff, was found not guilty. This is my thing. First of all, there should have been more charges for more of those cops. Second, the charges that they filed against the cops that they filed charge against were bullshit. Third, we knew this was going to be the outcome. We kind of knew this was going to be the outcome. Um, and fourth, yeah. So how look, you can't be reckless doing the job. You can't be reckless. And the Justice Department is where all the racists went to maintain their power, and it's about time we say so. Joe Biden is detrimental to Black life in America. I really do believe that. I think he and what he wants for Black people, no Black people should want for themselves. So, and you have a system where when you speak about the hurt and the pain that you're going through in this system, people tell you that you're whining and complaining, you got it good, kind of bullshit, right? So it's built to not listen to you. How do you get people who are not voting for you, who are not voting, who are not responsive to the things you need to be responsive to the things you need. And we're talking law and order shit. We're not talking I want to raise at work, right? We're talking cops killing us, the arrogance of judges. This is what we're talking about. Um, that Breonna Taylor thing is crazy. They killed her next to her nephew who was like 8. And they're talking like, I mean, I tell people this all the time. It never happens to any other group. And all these other groups talking about, oh, woe is me, this thing, that's a dodge, and it does two things. It it lies. It inflates like, oh, well, there's some of these things that we all have it. It's not just the black people, but it really is just. Nobody's running around here killing Asian people. No one's running around here killing Jews. No one's running around here killing gays, right? All the typical groups people like to whip up and go, oh, we're an oppressed and aggrieved group, and I'm sure they have things that they're not happy about. But what we're talking about here is the constant and chronic, and almost you can set your clock by it, death of these people, these young people, right? Usually men, and they're not doing that to Asian men, right? But don't get it wrong, there are some bully cops and they hate everybody, right? So don't act like, you know. But the the ongoing problem that people are acting like does not exist is what's going to end up, uh, I think, undoing the place. I think everybody's giving up. So we will see what happens because I am not for this. I'm not for putting the system back together the way it was. Now that we have a chance to fix it, we should fix some shit. We really should. Um, the Breonna Taylor thing is depressing. Now these are wooden dowels around this apartment. I must have 1,000 of them. So I was thinking, what can I make with all these wooden chopsticks, wooden towels, tiny little toothpicks, right? I, you know, be creative. What step away from the craziness, right? Know what's going on, but don't get so absorbed that the sea of bullshit washes over you and drowns you in it, right? I mean, you don't want it to splatter on you, much less drown you in it. So, but you should know what's going on. That's why I can't turn my back completely from it and just completely dive into music. But I do like being right about shit, and I'm right about politics a lot. All right. Um, and Hillary Clinton came out of nowhere again to talk. Her whole position seemed to be start a war. Like she was saying that what they should do is no fly zone and cyber warfare. Shut down like their grid and all this shit, which is an act of war. If you shut down the American power grid, we told you it's war. We're trying not to escalate this. And she's like, I think she still thinks that she's got a shot. Man, we got nobody. Who do we have? We got Hillary. We learned our lesson from Trump. They'll vote for her again. There's no Obama. And is Trump again? Yeah. Oh, the blacks will come along this time. And then when the Republicans get in, they're gonna look up her ass with a fine tooth comb, just like they did with Trump, which I'm for. But I'm for that for everybody. If he broke the law, he shouldn't be able to skate on it. You know, if if I glance at the law weirdly, I'm arrested and given a 40-year sentence. Right? The idea of uh, ignorance is no excuse is twofold. One is so they can abuse you, and two is so the bad guy doesn't just perpetually keep going. I didn't know, right? I mean, I didn't know it's bullshit. But ignorance of the law really is a good excuse considering there are 500,000 fucking laws on the books. Maybe the ones that we all run through in our neighborhood, federally, state wise, and locally, maybe there's be a whole bunch of shit that you should absolutely know because you live there. So if you're in Florida, you know the alligator code. Don't go shooting them with your handgun if they're on your lawn. I wouldn't know that, right? And all this other stuff, but the system really seems to be geared to just fuck you over at every turn on on the whim of anybody in power over you, and that can be a cop, right? That can be an unfair lawyer. That can be an unfair, lazy defense lawyer. So don't get me too fucking exasperated about the about say Iranians, about the Ukrainians, Iranians. Dick Shawn died on stage. Wait, did we look up if Robert Preston died on stage? Back then, all these guys had military service. I mean, he died of lung cancer. He was cremated, and he was an intensely private person. So he just wanted to be an actor. He didn't want to be a celebrity, which you gotta appreciate. Um, yeah, lung cancer. Back then, everybody smoked. Filmography. Let's look at his how many years. What's name was in for 30. What did we say? 52 years, right? Is it 32 or 52? 52 to 89, 56 to 88 or something. And he was active from 38 to 87. That's 51 years. And he did, oh Lord, all right, hold on. He did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 stage productions and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 and 18 is 36, and this would be 18 minus 2, so this would be 16. 36 and 16 is 46, and 6 is 52. So he did 52 films and a radio show. Good Lord. So, I mean, that's working, right? That's constantly and chronically working. God bless him. Um, blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing, you'll be watching those movies forever, right? Literally, in the modern era, it's gone but not forgotten. Unless there's some kind of pulse and the power goes out, then nobody can watch any of that stuff. There was a really good point of a television show. Let's slide over this way. Of a television show that was on NBC. I forgot the name of it, but all the power goes out, and one of the characters kept her phone with her, and she was always looking for like a charger or like because all her pictures were on her phone, and she was began to forget what people that she loved looked like. So she carried this dead phone around, in a place where all the power in all the world was gone, right? And people in so yeah, it was pretty good, but it was sci-fi in a way that it should have been on Netflix or something. Because sci-fi is a genre that's popular. It's getting popular. It's popular, I guess, but not everybody likes it. It's more people still like Well, actually, they invented didn't. Well, yeah, most people still like romantic comedies. I wouldn't say they got repopular in the '80s with Tom Hanks, but they were always around, right? Um, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and stuff like that, right? Romantic comedies. Uh, what is the most popular movies genre of movies? Most, I don't think it's gonna be. I know horror movies is up there, but it can't be one, two, or three, right? Horror movies have got to be like number 10. Romance has to be close to horror because I mean that's also niche. Most popular movie genres, and sci-fi movies are always popular during war because people want to get away, and war movies are never popular during war, right? But when everything's going fine and there's no war, people love a war movie. Uh, and mind you, there's always the occasional movie that's just a great movie and people go see it no matter what the genre is, right? Uh, most watched movies, film genre, movie genre, comics genre breakdown. 12 of the most popular movie genres by country. By country? Okay. Can we even throw this up in the presentation? Let's see if we can do that. Present on cam. All right. Let's dot 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 dot. All right. Acting, animation, all right. The most popular movies genres by country. Brazil, it's action. Argentina, it's comedy. United States, Canada, and Mexico, one block. Comedy, that's interesting. But Argentina is close to Mexico, so this might be wait, what was the first one? Brazil, right? So Brazil is close to these, and they have action. I wonder why. Canada, Mexico's a comedy. Box office revenue from 1995 to 2016 shows that comedy has been the most popular movie genre in North America, with adventure a very close second. Yeah, I would rather see a comedy, but you know what? We've been at war for like the last since the '80s. So like that goes with what I was saying. People don't like drama and like they prefer to get movies where they can get away. So action movies, uh, comedies, science fiction movies, uh, cartoons become popular when they weren't for a long time. Because nobody needs to go and be depressed because they're depressed in the world. Germany, action and adventure. India, adventure. Italy, comedy. France, comedy. Sweden, drama, comedy, action. Why do they get three? Those don't have a lot in common. Swedish moviegoers tend to prefer a variety of genres. Along with Deadpool, The Revenant, and Zootopia, one of the highest grossing films is Inman Soman Eta Ove, even though it's released the year before. So what does that mean? What does that movie mean? Inman Som Et Ove. All right. Australia is action. New Zealand is action comedy. England is comedy. All right. So yeah, there you go. Do we want to close this? All right. Well, we've got by that I think we started that a little late, but we've got 15 minutes. What do we want to look up here? What's going on in the world, guys? Seriously, 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 seriously. Nothing. All right. So This Ukraine thing is ridiculous. So you dump the whole. They're gonna call a ceasefire, but he's not withdrawing his troops. So he's gonna. It's gonna be a ceasefire, but he's gonna leave his troops, and then he's gonna have to supply those troops and logistics to make sure they eat, they have new clean uniform, they get training, and wow, this whole thing is just. It's the fuckery of this whole thing is incredible. And we said a couple of days ago, it's like, you know, he takes a giant part of your country and then you call a ceasefire, you lose it or lose it all, right? It's sort of like the giant guy in prison taking your pudding. Speaking of giant guys in prison taking your pudding, Half Baked is on Netflix. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. So, I think I'm gonna like you can do watch parties on Netflix if you have Amazon, and you have Twitch, which I have both. So yeah, I just need to fix my this month, this year. I don't know what to do. As a spiritual person who does not who generally don't trust who doesn't what's the correct language here? Doesn't trust churches, right? What's the like what's um we talk about this all the time, right? I don't believe that church is about a white guy sitting on a cloud. I don't believe that. It's the book is written by angel, right? I don't think that it's a manual. It's more of a way to walk through life, right? Stories that tell you, not tell you, but that essentially that are parables for everyday existence, right? Having said that, then you give sinister and evil people this book to interpret it to make themselves really wealthy, and then get you to keep a group down, whether it's women or black people for the last 1,000 years in Europe and Africa, or going to new places and treating those people poorly as well under the name of religion, right? Um, these things last. I mean, look, the Middle East is still on fire because of the Crusades, right? Because of the Crusades. Um, yeah, it is what it is. Moldova mounting Russian troops already on its soil. We are wow, and he's bringing Belarus into it, right? So that's a second country. This could easily get out of hand, but I maintain that the Russians aren't so stupid as to start a fucking nuclear war. Um, is the West going to let him take the Ukraine? People are ridiculous. Apparently, wheelchair tennis is a thing. Wheelchair tennis. Wheelchair tennis. I gotta look up wheelchair tennis. I'm sorry. I gotta look up. Ooh, take it easy. I gotta look up wheelchair tennis. That girl, wheelchair tennis. Okay, I can't play the videos, but we can go and check this out. Okay, so these guys I get, but the image that I was being shown here is a lady in a motorized wheelchair. So she had essentially had one hand steering and swinging the wheelchair, so because she couldn't swing, So I'm sort of looking for like an example of that because I get bicycle. I get wheelchair basketball. Yeah, like the saying goes, there but for the grace of God go I, right? There was a basketball player, I forgot his name, who just retired a couple of years ago, maybe. And he was in a bicycle accident and broke his neck and is a paraplegic now. Young guy. I was like, a bicycle accident. This is why I put away my longboard. Like, you don't fall like you used to. Everything comes to an end, man. You might want to give it up before it ends you. Fire reported at Ukraine nuclear plant. The fucking Russians, boy. This is going to get out of hand. Whew. Europe's largest nuclear power plant on fire after Russian attack. Out. Outrageous. Oh. How is this going to play out? See, because I mean, Putin doesn't give a fuck what the Russian populace says, right? So why would he care what the other populace says? The other populace says. Sean Bradley. Wow. Okay, no, we gotta read it. We gotta read it. All right. Fighter jets. You know, you're sitting at a red light, they go swooping by. You're driving down the highway, there's a transfer helicopter like flying right. It's the coolest shit. I love living here. Um, a rescue van is seen at the site after shelling attack by the Russian army following Russia's invasion of Ukraine in Chernihiv, March 3, 2022. In this still image obtained from social media. Borod, Borod Yanka, Lviv, Ukraine. Lviv. Lviv, Ukraine. The Oh, this is going to be a fucking. All right. Um, the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant in the Ukraine, the largest of its kind in Europe, was on fire early Friday after an attack by Russian troops. They're dead ahead of us. 15 hours ahead. What time is it? It's Thursday. Yeah. All right. So yeah, they're dead ahead of us. Early Friday morning. So I'm assuming it's okay. You know what? What am I assuming? What time is it in the Ukraine?
It's 3:02 a.m. in Kyiv, Ukraine.
Okay, so it's 3:02 there now, and it's a little after 8 here. So that means it's a difference of 7 hours. 7 hours ahead. There has been fighting between local forces and Russian troops, Dmitry Orlov said in an online post, adding that there has been casualties without giving details. Well, this is what happens when you shoot at each other. Look, oh, here's the thing. You as an American can't go there and fight for the Ukrainians, for a couple of reasons. Um, One, they will just blame. Are we gonna look at these images? Oh, I don't even know what this is. All right, war in Ukraine. Yeah. Um, we're not gonna look at it. Look, you can't go fight that war because if they caught you there, they'll just say that they're cartoons. Um, they'll just say that you're CIA and you are planted and you were right. And even if they don't, this government, the American government, is not fond of its citizens going overseas and fighting wars for other people. This is why there are few people who join the French Foreign Legion and ever come back to this country. Because the French Foreign Legion has a policy of, we'll give you a new name, and after you do this thing, we'll give you citizenship. It's a brand new fucking start. Right. So if I ran amok and got to France somehow, or any of the French Foreign Legion, or any of its outposts, any of its recruiting centers, which is all in France, Algeria, Northern Africa kind of shit, uh, they take me. Then my name wouldn't be, you know, Sean anymore. It'd be Pierre, Pierre Gascon, right? Veteran of the French Foreign Legion and French citizen. This is my man Chin Fei. He's here, and over here there is Jaime uh, Bergmeister, and over there is Carlos. Whatever. Because everybody from all over all over the country, all over the world, has heard of that place. And one guy I was watching a documentary. He said he ran out of money in Europe. He had no family. He wanted to get out of not Central Africa. I want to say Australia, but he wasn't Australian. He wasn't African, and he wasn't Middle Eastern Arabic. I don't think. I forgot where he was from, but he was alone in the world, and he was like 24, and he ran out of money. And he was thinking about it. He was like, I could be he didn't want to go back to wherever he was from either. It might have been like Russian or India. I don't know if it wasn't India because he was like a white guy. Anyway, um, but yeah, people decide these things. People have joint militaries on whims, right? Uh, it's amazing, but this government doesn't want it. They monitor you. People went over to fight against ISIS when that whole thing kicked off. To fight a religious war against ISIS, the government did not like that. It arrested some people. Yeah, you can't go there. What's wrong with you? Uh, let's let's put this here. Let's put this here. Let's do that. Are we ending this thing? The news have been slideshow. Oh, I thought this was a slideshow. What the hell happened? This slideshow is lame. Uh, yeah, like I said, this slideshow is lame. So apparently, this news article is stupid. We need a better one. U.S. News. Which one did we look at? Bombing a nuclear power plant. The Boston Globe. Do you want to try this one? Right, and back in the day, I guess not. Back in the day, all these old newspapers, the New York Times, the Boston Globe, run by these families. The families that ran the New York, the families that ran the newspaper were like the baseball families, right? Like we talked about the Mara yesterday, and they were like sort of like the same kind of smug energy of we've owned this newspaper for 80 years and my family and we made our money and so on and so, right? And then the internet came and killed the newspapers, so they don't get anywhere near as much swag as they used to, which is why every story you have to pay a nickel for now apparently. U.S. News and World Reports. Is this the one we just looked at? I guess it is. National Post. The Taylor family. Yeah. It's like all these oil barons who own teams. What if all of a sudden someone came up with something that could recycle water and power rockets and your car, right? Then nobody can needs to dig in the ground anymore. And then all of a sudden, in a very short while, all their swag of I'm an oil baron is gone, right? They're still rich, don't get me wrong, but eventually people start selling off newspapers to keep, you know, because they all seem to be over leveraged for something while they live like that. Global News, Boston Globe. We tried that. National Post. It's ridiculous. Where's the New York Post? Where's that at? Come on, New York Post. Now that I need. Okay, we'll go here. Reuters. You're the best, Reuters. What you need to know right now. Ukraine and Russia. What you need to know. March 3rd, Russia and Ukraine agree on a need for humanitarian corridors and a possible ceasefire around them for fleeing civilians. The first sign of agreement of any issue since the war. 1 million refugees. According to plan, Putin says, I want to say that the special military operation is proceeding strictly in line with the timetable. According to plan, all the tasks that have been set are being successfully resolved, he said on television. He's a liar. Lord, man, it is not funny. It's so fucking dark. Macron gets a French election poll boost after Ukraine crisis. So he's happy for the war. Um, I'm telling you, man, I saw somebody in an electric wheelchair. Paralympics. Yeah, this is the picture I saw. Here you go. Can't even see the picture. And it's the same bunch of pictures. It's supposed to be the news. All right. All right. I'm all over the place with this. I can't believe. You know what? I wonder if I can do this. Open image. Yeah, look how small the image is. Yeah, anyway. So, lady in an electric wheelchair. I don't know. All right. That's it for us. Sean Bradley. Oh, is that the guy who hurt himself? The athlete? A lot of Sean's today. A U Bradley. Sean Bradley wrestles with life at 7'6" in a wheelchair. It's so fucked up though. I mean, just it's just ugh. Retired NBA center is finding that his 90-inch frame, which brought him fame and fortune and 2,000 plus blocks, is now challenging without medical precedent. Yeah. Retiring at 33. No, I can't read it. It's fucking depressing. I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna read it. It's freaking depressing. Oh, it's so depressing. I feel so bad for him. This is what we need in this in the West, right? How about a cure for paralysis instead of all this fucking boner pill bullshit, all this inflate your booby nonsense, right? All this tighten up your vagina surgery, right? All this nonsense. How about we come up with a cure for that? How about that? Uh, that's so sad. He's 7'6". Lucky he's rich because over a bicycle accident. Because I'm telling you, his tiny wife is gonna have a hell of a time taking care of him. How old is he? Ay, 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 ay. All right. Is this the same Sean Bradley? No, it's not. Um, a bike crash. Wow. Does not didn't they're not giving us any oh, it's so fucked up. Uh oh, yeah, he was hit by a car. Yeah. And that's I don't even I can't find how old he is. And that is the thing, right? It won't be you, it'll be somebody else. Right? I would love to have a motorcycle. I did all the research. Uh so if I had one, it'd be a Ducati, it'd be a Monster, which is like the series of well, you want to see it? It's the bike Tom Cruise drove in Mission Impossible when he slammed into that guy because that's a thing that you can do with freaking physics. Uh, Look at this thing. Not that color though, but seriously. Yeah, I completely see somebody running me down and killing me on it. Um, Not intentionally. You know, like I can see, I drive. Oh, good lord, I hate time. Why you even do it to yourself? You drive around and you see people putting on makeup, eating in the front seat, people on the phone. People are just they will run you clean over. They do like my. I have a family member who had a car accident, right? So he was at the light, and the car in front of him pulls out into traffic, realizes that they're too far out, throws it in reverse, guns it, and right into him. Crunch. Like That's people. Just, I mean, really apologetic and all, but still. Just like I told you, I drive fast, but I look at where everyone is around me. I drive like birds fly. Birds don't slam into other people next to them. But I have to do this because everywhere I look, someone is on the phone, someone is, uh, it's not good. There's an arrogance to people's driving now, right? Like they have every right to, and they don't have to be safe because fuck you. I think that's a problem, right? Whereas I drive like I need to get from point A to point B, fastest line possible, uh, in a good and decent clip. And I know that doing that, there are other people in the way that I have to watch out for as I maneuver around and through and over and under, versus acting like I'm on the road by myself. Yeah, Ducatis, man, they're awesome. All right, what time is it? It is 8:20. So we are gonna leave this here. Uh, should you move the thing up? Should you move the thing down? I don't know. This, whatever this is, it's just, it needs more something or other. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. We're here every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I will definitely be here tomorrow. Uh, Trying to figure it out with you. Um, let's put this back over here since we're not going to be using it. Ouch. I want to thank all of you, and by all of you, I mean you, William, for coming through and chilling with me. Uh, bombing a nuclear facility is a new wrinkle. I mean, I thought he was going to invade, shoot it up, keep his troops in these places, call a ceasefire, and just take the land, right? Or you were going to go, no, we're not going to give up, and then he was just going to take the country. I don't know what Europe is going to do. Even as I didn't see all this when I let you fly through our airspace, when I let you do this, he doesn't seem to care. Uh, if he does take Ukraine and this stays in place, the question is, will it stay in place forever, which is going to cause the war, uh, or are you going to do it for 10 years and then, you know what I mean? Um, how long were we in Iraq? I don't know, man. Woo, 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 woo. Excuse me. I do not know. All right. I guess this is where we end it. I want to thank all of you for showing up. How do I end the presentation? Let's go in here. Let's go to here. Let's go to this. And there I am. Ta-da! Let's dismiss this. I want to thank all of you. I'll see you tomorrow, 6:30. Right? Let's make it a date. Um, I have to figure out how to cut this looper off because it won't cut off. It's got to be an off switch. Did I miss the off switch? I wouldn't put it past me. I want more tea. Good Lord. I've got a drinking problem. I'm always either drinking tea or coffee. So if I give up coffee because coffee makes you phlegmy, there's milk in it. But otherwise, coffee is awesome. And then there's tea. Not trying to be British or anything, but tea is good for the winter. We'll figure it out. Maybe mocktails. One of those like cranberry and seltzer martini drinks. I hate mock. I like I. That's not true. I like some of them, but the idea of a mocktail is like just a drink. And if you can't drink because you have an alcohol issue, then just don't drink. Don't heal yourself with the fake. It's like I stopped being a heroin addict, but I take this fake heroin now. It's like, why would you? Um, just give up the bad thing and move on, or give up the thing that you claim to have given up and move on. And that seems to be the problem. Moving on is hard. All right, I am having trouble moving on. So once again, I will say goodbye as I try to finally move on from this podcast to tomorrow's podcast. How's that? This podcast needs a name and a little joie de vivre or whatever. Uh, but yeah, this is where it starts. Give it 15 years and it'll be really impressive. All right, I'll see you tomorrow, 6:30. And if I don't see you then, hopefully you'll show up for a Saturday to hang out with us, 6:30, or Sunday morning at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Do we want to do 11? No, we're going to do 10. 10 a.m. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fish and fowl.